Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. My name is Alpa Sharma, and I hope all of you are doing really good today. Am I clearly visible and audible on YouTube as well as on our app? Good afternoon. If you could quickly confirm if I'm visible as well as audible clearly. Hi, Vishal. Hi, Ranganathan. Good afternoon, Sunny. Good afternoon, Ayushi. Yes, audible and visible. Yes. All right. So, we're starting off with a new series today on reading comprehension. And we'll have two classes in this series today and tomorrow. I'll tell you how the series would go on, what's our plan, what are we going to do, what are we going to discuss, how are we going to address all this. But before we start talking about our agenda today, let me take you through a few things. If you're targeting CUCET for 2022 target year, we've got a champion course that we've launched, which will prepare you for this specific examination. So if getting into the topmost universities of our country is your dream, then make sure you sit for this examination and make sure you enroll for this examination at the earliest. Apart from that, if you are targeting NPAT, SET, GGS, IPU, CET, CRIS, and Xavier's examinations, these examinations, then we've launched a BBA Ranker course, which will prepare you for these BBA entrance examinations. So the batch started on 14th of January. Enrollments are going on. Make sure you don't get late because you don't have a lot of time left and the classes will be running out. Also, if only and only IPMAT and DUJAT is your target, then our batch 3 for these two specific examinations has been launched on 18th of January. You could speak to our counselors on this number to enroll yourself at the earliest, but make sure you don't get late. Okay, so that was about it. Every day at 4 p.m. we have special free classes on our channel by Rohindip ma'am on logical reasoning. Every day at 2 p.m. we have free classes, special classes on GK by Salik sir. And every day at 11 a.m. we have free special classes on our channel on quantitative ability by Ankur sir. So make sure you don't miss out on these free sessions apart from the 12:30 session that I take on English and critical reasoning. So 11 a.m. maths, 12:30 English and critical reasoning, 2 for quantitative ability, 2 for GK and 4 for reasoning. Don't miss out on these sessions. पूरे दिन आपके पास बहुत सारी classes attend करने को. You know our star faculties are Rohindip ma'am, Rabia ma'am, Salik sir, Vinod sir and Ankur sir. So आप सब इनको जानते हो. Yes, okay. So now guys, I'm going to start teaching about reading comprehension in this session today. But let me tell you what my agenda. Good afternoon, Devansh and Tarun as well on the app. Now, what's going to be my idea? This channel dominates the BBA entrance examinations, and what I teach you here is basically today that's going to be reading comprehension. Now, a lot of you have been struggling with reading comprehensions, and today we're going to solve a couple of passages. Through solving them, we'll try to identify what are the problems that we face while we read a reading comprehension and how to address a reading comprehension effectively so that our understanding gets better. Yes, Alicia, it is. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have two classes today and tomorrow where I'm going to address reading comprehensions. But, and then one more thing, I'll be on a break from Wednesday, that is 26th to 30th. So Wednesday to Sunday, I would not be taking any classes. But Monday when I return, I see a lot of you struggling with a lot of reading comprehensions. We'll figure out the problems that you face while we solve some of them today. And Monday, I'll be addressing most of them. So we'll see why is one person unable to solve a reading comprehension effectively. And we'll try to address that as well. I hope everything makes sense, right? So can we start off with one reading comprehension? And while we solve that reading comprehension, can we see what are the problems that we face and how do I address the reading comprehension and master it? Good to go, everybody? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yes, Alia. I'll be on a break with the Hindu editorial classes as well. I would not take into the editorial classes from Wednesday to Sunday. Okay, so it's going to be good afternoon, Bani. All right, so here we go. Let's start off with that. Let me give you a simpler one, not a very difficult one, a simpler one. What you have to do here is take 2 minutes, okay? Read. This is the only paragraph that we have. I want all of you to read this very, very carefully, word by word, and then we'll talk about this. I'll give you a few questions later on, but we'll talk about this. So take 2 minutes, read this carefully, and then we'll talk. Good luck, everyone. Yes, it is, Ranganathan, it is. Go ahead, give this a read, everyone. Send me a done when you're done. Done? Did you understand anything here? Done? Did you understand anything here? Confusing तो है तरुण, ये बात तो आप करेक्ट बोल रहे हो. Confusing तो है, और सिर्फ इसी में से if I have to make 5 questions, there are few terms in the passage that are difficult, okay, and there are a few lines which may have a lot of hidden meanings. Okay, I'm sure a lot of you struggle with vocabulary, which is a gradual process, but that's not what I'm going to address today. If there are words, for example, this, that I don't know the meaning of, should it hamper my understanding of the whole passage? Yes or no? Ali, good guess. Soumya, we'll have a session on that as soon as possible whenever the syllabus is out, okay? Okay. No, certainly not. If you don't know the meaning of any word, it should never bother your understanding of the passage, because you can figure out the contextual meaning of the word. So, for example, the author says the artificial ways of inducing sleep are dashed and are only alike in their ineffect. So, he says these artificial ways are inefficient. Yes. So, it may be anything. Literally, this word means a lot. So there are a lot of artificial ways of inducing sleep. When you're not sleepy, what are the artificial ways of falling? So my mom used to tell me, if you're unable to sleep, you keep chanting the Gayatri mantra and you would fall asleep. So it's an artificial way of inducing sleep. But then the author says these ways are inefficient. Okay. And then he goes on to give you possibly examples. Yes. To explain how this opinion of his is correct. A lot of you who have been struggling with the reading comprehensions and who found this reading comprehension difficult, mark my words. Whenever you read a reading comprehension, there are 2 things you need to pay attention to. They are, 1, the author's opinions. So when the author says they are ineffective, isn't that the author's opinion? Yes, that is. I have to very carefully look at those lines. And Then after I look at his opinions, two, why has the passage been written? What is the main purpose or main idea of the passage? Once you understand both of these, answering most of the questions would be a cakewalk for you. Whatever examination you're sitting for, reading comprehension is an inevitable part of your entrance examination. IPMAT, DUJAT, CUCET, maybe reading comprehension hoga, CLAT, ALET, any examination that you're sitting for. Always remember, what is the author's opinion? Those lines are going to be supreme for us. And in the end, what is the purpose of writing the whole passage? Can I say the lines written after inefficiency are to justify his opinion of inefficiency? Yes or no? I'll repeat. The lines that are written about after inefficiency, are they written to justify the author's opinion of artificial ways being inefficient? Yes or no? Devansh, Rahul, Tarun, everyone else on YouTube as well. Absolutely yes. So if I know the opinion, the justification, understanding that becomes a very easy job for all of us. Okay. Now let's try to answer one question and I'll come back to the passage. I'll not explain what the passage talks about. Otherwise, you'll get most of the questions correct. Answer this question. The author points out that which one of the following is correct. What's your answer? There are close options here. Be very careful about the question, everyone. What's your answer? Okay. B. Can't it be A? That they're not good, thus they're inefficient. Can't it be A? In the app on YouTube, can't it be A? Because they're not good, thus they're inefficient. A eliminate karo mere liye. Why is A wrong? Everyone unanimously says B. What's wrong with A? It cannot be A because they may be actually good, but for him, he finds these methods ineffective. These methods do not help him. They may be good, very good methods, but the inefficiency is exactly what the passage says. That is right here. They are many, but they certainly don't work. Okay, the answer here is B. Okay. Now, everyone has studied this. Let's move to the next line. So then there is an impossible character, a victim of insomnia. Insomnia, one who can't sleep, who finds that a volume of Wordsworth's poems is the only source soporific and but that borrows malice. I will not explain the line. Come to the next question. Word impossible. How has this been used? I'll take you back to the passage. Impossible character. What could this mean? Before looking at the options, decide it on your own. Exactly. Yes, you're right, Movis. Not proper information about that. Correct. See? Okay, let me take you through it. Here. What's your answer? Okay. Good guess, Preeti. What's your answer? What does it? What should the answer be? A, C, D. So many answers. A, okay. In the app D, ठीक है चलो. अब आता है problem vocabulary का. So guys, there is one thing, another thing that you have to note down is that having a good vocabulary will obviously aid on to understanding your passage. If there are words in the passage that you do not know the meaning of, like this one, we can infer that. It should not hamper the understanding of the whole passage. But if your vocabulary is better, you are going to get better with reading comprehension. Keep working on vocabulary incessantly, without breaks. Keep revising them, keep doing them. Now let's understand this answer here. In Lavengro, there is an impossible character, okay? A victim of insomnia. Impossible character does not mean he does not exist. He certainly exists. But he is called impossible here, who is also a victim of insomnia, who finds that a volume of Wordsworth's poems is the only sure soporific. Okay? Here, he certainly cannot be funny because there is no indication of humor or fun in the whole passage. So, I can't call this character funny for sure. Okay, now I'm left with unrealistic, imaginary and queer. One queer is the word that we used for LGBTQ. But am I referring to he being one of the members of the LGBTQ queer fraternity? Or does it have something else as well? Some other meaning as well. Queer has another meaning. That means odd or strange. Would you like to change your answers, everyone? Would you like to change your answers? Should your answer now be A, C or D? Anybody, would you like to change your answers? No? Now, the answer here certainly is queer. When I say unrealistic or imaginary, how do you infer this? That A is not going to be the answer instead of D. Unrealistic and imaginary are synonymous. I can't choose one out of the two. Use your common sense and eliminate A and D because both are both are synonymous words, not exact synonym, but when I use it for a character, and unrealistic has to be an imaginary character only. How can you decide between A and D for a character? Both are going to be synonymous. Both cannot be our answer. There's no intimation of humor or fun being used in the passage. This cannot be the answer. He was an odd character. और वो odd इसीलिए था क्योंकि उसको लगता था वर्ड्सवर्थ की poems soporific है. They induce sleep. क्योंकि author के according कोई भी चीज जो artificial way of inducing sleep है, they are inefficient. So if somebody finds a character, finds a way, a technique of artificially inducing sleep, that's an odd creature because that's not true for the author. Agreed, everyone? Agreed? Why is the answer going to be C here? Yes, the answer is C. Okay, it's going to be queer here. Alright, let me take you to the next sentence. I have explained the answer for the next sentence. Okay, this is your next sentence. According to the author, the character, the odd character we referred to is which one of these? Which one of these? Very good, Ranganathan, very good. What's going to be your answer here? Very quickly, everybody. Okay, B, C, D. Thank you, Soumya, my child. C. Okay. Most of you saying C. चलो एक बार वापस पैराग्राफ में आते हैं. Okay. Be ready for the biggest shock of the day. Let's come to the passage. Okay. In this book, there is an odd character a victim of insomnia. He can't sleep. He resorts to Wordsworth's poems. He finds these poems the only sure soporific. The only way of falling to sleep is Wordsworth's poems. Soporific is anything that calms you down, that induces sleep. Would you like to change your answer here, everyone? Would you like to change your answer, everybody? He finds Wordsworth's poem the only sure shot way that would induce sleep. And that's exactly why the author finds him odd. Because according to the author, all the methods are inefficient, but this person has a sure shot method. The answer has to be D, my children. It has to be D. He resorts to external aids to get some sleep. What is the external aid? Footloose, you were the first one to find this answer correctly. What is the external source of sleep? The external source of inducing sleep? Wordsworth's poem. I'll explain this line in Hindi. वर्ड्सवर्थ की पोएम उसको इतनी बोरिंग लगती है कि उसको पढ़ते पढ़ते उसको नींद आ जाती है. दैट इज वाई उस ऑथर को ये पर्सन ऑड लगता है कि कैसा ऑड कैरेक्टर है. वर्ड्सवर्थ की पोएम पढ़ते पढ़ते उसको नींद आ जाती है, उसको वो सपोरिफिक लगती है, मेडिकेशन की तरह की नींद की गोली हो गई वो पोएम. ये कैसी बात होती है? तो एक्चुअली ही डज नॉट स्पेंड स्लीपलेस नाइट्स रीडिंग वर्ड्सवर्थ. वो तो इतना बोर हो जाता है कि वो उसको पढ़ते पढ़ते सो जाता है. ही इज नॉट एन एडमायरर, ही इज नॉट एन एविड रीडर. एविड रीडर होता, एडमायरर होता तो वर्ड्सवर्थ की पोएम पढ़ते पढ़ते नींद नहीं आती उसको. गॉट माय पॉइंट? द आंसर इज डी. ओके, got this, my children? Now let's move to the next question. It gets difficult. Let's see. So, अभी तक हमने क्या decide किया? One, I need to have a very good vocabulary to understand the reading comprehension better. Two, if I don't understand the meaning of a word, I have to learn how to identify the contextual meaning of that word. Three, I need to pay attention to the lines that are the author's opinions. Agreed, everyone? And four, I always have to identify the main idea of the passage. Remember these four things, everyone. Let's quickly move to the next question. Okay, the same passage, question number 9. What do you think should the answer be? He's a real life poet. Ali, he's a very famous poet. I'm sure you've read his poems in your schools as well. Soumya, external, yes, good question. I'll explain how external source can be associated to Wordsworth. Naturally falling off to sleep. आप लेट गए हो, आप सोने चले गए हो, आपको नेचुरली नींद आ गई. आपको नेचुरली नींद जब नहीं आती है तब आप क्या करते हो? यू रिसोर्ट टू एक्सटर्नल सोर्सेज. सम पीपल रीड गायत्री मंत्र, कुछ लोग नेटफ्लिक्स देखते हैं, कुछ लोग फेसबुक पे पॉलिटिकल स्टोरीज पढ़ते हैं नॉर्मली नींद आने के लिए, कुछ लोग माला जपते हैं, कुछ लोग वर्ड्सवर्थ की पोएम पढ़ते हैं. ये सब एक्सटर्नल सोर्सेज ही तो है नींद लाने के. What's the answer here? Counting sheep? चलो, everyone says C. Everyone says C. And Movis says D. Okay, चलो ठीक है. एक बार फिर से पैसेज में आते हैं, ठीक है. अब राइटर देखो, हमने उस ऑड कैरेक्टर के बारे में पढ़ा that the odd character resorts to reading Wordsworth's poem to fall asleep. What does the writer do? Let's go back to the passage and see. He says, I have herded imaginary sheep until they insisted on turning themselves into white bears. The imaginary sheep, he is herding them, and then the imaginary sheep converts into white bears. It sometimes converts into blue pigs. And I defy a reasonable man to fall asleep while mustering a herd of swine. और कभी कभी swine के herd को भी muster करता है, collect करता है. Swine का herd मतलब pigs का herd. So, getting back to the question, What does he do if you want to fall asleep? Does he count sheep jumping over stile? Or is he herding them? Or then he is converting them into blue pigs, and then he is collecting sheep, and then he is collecting swine. What is he doing? It's not going to be C, my children. It's not going to be C. Because he is not only counting sheep, he is herding them. He is turning them into white bears and then blue pigs, and then he is herding pigs as well. So what is he doing? Yes, my children, Movies, you were the first one to get it right. He is basically trying to concentrate on imaginary situations. When somebody lies down to sleep, आप random thoughts नहीं आते, imagine करते रहते हो कुछ भी. Right? That's what he's doing. All of these are imaginary creatures. White bears, blue pigs, herding swine, imaginary sheep. He is just imagining multiple situations, multiple creatures. And by concentrating on the imaginary situations, he is trying to sleep. So, the sheep is merely a part of your premise. And through this example, he is explaining the fact that he is imagining a lot of things while he is trying to fall asleep. Agreed, everybody? The answer is going to be D here. Yes. अब एक बात बताओ, everyone. He does not read for sure. Okay. The sheep, and this sheep is only an example to explain the imaginary situation he is thinking. Thus, B and C cannot be the answer. Now, getting back to the passage, and before showing you the next question, do you guys realize one thing? That while reading the passage, you guys have been missing out on reading between the lines. What does it mean? What is reading between the lines? What do you think am I referring to here? What do you think? Oh, that's a typo, Ali. Yes, that's a typo. That's a typo, okay? What do you think is reading between the lines? Most of you have been making this mistake because every question that you've seen has to be answered only by reading between the lines. You guys are taking, Shruti, I'm going to do that. Yes. You guys are taking words with their literal meanings. And that's the worst thing to do while you solve a reading comprehension. Reading between the lines क्या होता है? When you read between the lines, there's an implicit meaning with a word. एक word के क्या क्या meaning हो सकते हैं? क्या implicit meaning हो सकता है इस line का? I'll give you a simple example. When I say my country is a, most of you who come to my Hindu class will be able to answer this. My country is a pluralistic democracy. When I say that, can I mean something else as well out of that? Can I mean something else? Is there a hidden meaning in it? Yes, you guys are basically omitting the hidden meaning that's there. When you omit the hidden meaning, you will always get the inferential meanings wrong, inferential questions wrong. What does pluralistic democracy according to my sentence means? Practice that in reading between the lines. Tell me that. It's a diverse country. Yes. Thus, more than one government, I can say that as well. Or possibly looking at not one idea or one religion or one government as one, but looking at the plurality of everything. And then I can take out so many things. Maybe my country has multiple religions. Maybe my country has multiple governments. Maybe my country is a federal country. There are so many things I can infer out of it. You guys have to practice that if you need to master reading comprehension. Remember that reading between the lines is supremely important. Let's look at the next question, guys. Let's see if you've understood what reading between the lines is. What is borrows malice not probably directed at? I'll take you back to the passage. Borrows malice. I deliberately did not explain this word. What is it not directly addressed at? Look at the question. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'll show you the question. Here. Not directed at. What's going to be the answer here? Think and answer. Not directed at. I'll take you back to the passage, everyone. Do you want me to show you the passage? Yes, you're absolutely right, Rahul. A, B, okay. C, okay. I'll show you the passage again. Not directed at. So many answers. The answer here can be found out with the word but. But means contradiction. So this is going to be the opposite of this. Yes. He is against Wordsworth's poems as the only sure soporific. He says, no, it can't be. Thus, he is not probably directing Wordsworth's poetry. He says, no, it's a malice and it cannot be used as a soporific. Poetry in general can, artificial ways can, sleeplessness can be related to it. Wordsworth poetry certainly cannot be linked to it. Our answer here is A. Agreed, everyone? Yes, Zenith, you're right. Understood that? Hemendra, got that, my child? Everything else can link to Burroughs' malice. Wordsworth poetry certainly cannot be linked to it because of the word but. It's the contradiction to the previous line, opposite to Wordsworth's poetry. That's how you find the answer here. The answer here is A. Alright guys, so now what did we aim to do today? I took a tiny paragraph and through the paragraph we tried to understand what are the methods that we lack at which can aid on to our understanding of reading comprehension. Okay. Now, I'll be coming again tomorrow 12:30 with another reading comprehension, something of this sort, which will need a lot of brainstorming and thinking. But remember a few things that I had taught you in the class and practice that. I'll be addressing more queries now. Okay. So, what are the things we need to pay attention to? We need to have a good vocabulary to improve our reading comprehension. We need to look at the opinions of the author. We need to read between the lines. And we need to identify the main idea of the passage. These are the 4 things we will now onwards pay attention to. Make sure you don't miss out on this session tomorrow again on reading comprehension. We'll try to address your problems. I hope there are no more questions today. Do you have any questions, anyone? Do you want me to answer any of your queries? Also, if you think you were benefited with the session, again, I see a lot of you coming live to attend my classes but not subscribing to the channel and sharing my video. So I need you to do 2 things. Please subscribe to the channel right away, the red icon, bell icon at the bottom. And 2, please share my video. These are the 2 ways how you're going to benefit me. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow again at 12:30. Have a very, very good day and God bless all of you.